Welcome back to part 2 of my 2021 Drift Recap. This event is a hot lap event called Driftoberfest. I tried new camera angles, so leave a comment down below for which angle you like best. Day 1 Driftoberfest. It rained a little bit in the beginning of the day, which was kind of nice to be able to start drifting and get used to the car again on a wet track. You don't have to flick into a corner so hard, and it's just easier to maintain drift. So with this camera angle, it gives quite a different perspective on the track layout and how the car is performing at angle. Along with a hot lap event, they try and throw multiple cars out on the track. It's a great event for a lot of seat time. I was in run group 3. Run groups 1 and 2 are for more experienced drivers that have more time in tandem drift. In groups 1 and 2, they were running almost double the amount of cars as run group 3, just because of the experience difference. After getting a few laps in the car, the track was starting to dry up a little bit, so I was feeling more comfortable after, getting warmed up. So I was able to throw a little bit more angle, a little more speed into the corners. As you can see, I'm still kind of getting used to the car with this much angle and finding the limits of the angle too before spinning out. Being a beginner as well, on that straightaway, I was still pretty timid with trying to throw a manji in there without having to spin out. You'll see later on I get a little more comfortable with the car. When people talk about finding a good budget car that's reliable and you can get a lot of seat time, the Miata is the way to go, along with 350Zs and some other cars that don't require a whole lot to get drifting. The Miata, you can get a lot of seat time when it's stock, it doesn't overheat, and it drives pretty well. With this event being a hot lap as well, you really get used to the corners and finding that perfect line for momentum with your car. So right there I was able to get some momentum out of that big sweeper, and I actually tried managing the straight and it turned out pretty good. But still, I'm finding out the limit of the angle kit as is. On certain corners, you flick really hard, and unfortunately you still spin out. But that's how you learn, and you get better. Now we're getting into day 2. The track was dry, still a little cloudy from overnight. It rained a little bit more in the evening, but not too bad to where the track isn't super wet. Cloud cover's a little nicer on the eyes, and actually helps with getting good video as well. Driving on the track with more vehicles also helps motivate to do a little more and push and keep on a good line, so you don't mess up everyone else if you spin out. So halfway through day 2, I was feeling really good with the car. I was linking corners pretty well, maintaining drift through some of the big corners, and it was a real confidence boost. I ran a couple of different tire sizes in the rear. I ran the stock 14s with 185s for quite a while, and then I have a set of 15x7s that I was running 195s on. And you could tell quite a bit of difference between the two tires. The 185s were a lot easier to drift with stock power, but the 195s were much faster in the corners. The 195s also lasted quite a bit longer than the 185s. It's only one size up in width, but it still makes a big difference. So towards the later part of the day in day 2, I felt really comfortable with the car, so I had a couple of passengers come with. So this gave a different perspective from the car and the angle and how the car is performing. I really got the hang of throwing the car in, dragging e-brake and clutch kicking really hard. That really helped initiation quite a bit. I was able to carry a lot more momentum into the corner and slow myself down and throw to angle with the handbrake. It's kind of nice having stock power as well. Basically, you just have to put your foot to the floor through the corner to maintain drift. Doesn't take a whole lot of modulating the throttle, which takes a little bit of fun out of it, but at the same time, you're still going sideways and it's still a lot of fun. Having your foot smashed on the ground full throttle shows your commitment in the corner as well. Even with stock power in a 1.8 liter Miata, I still felt like I was able to keep a decent pace with some of the 350Zs that were in front of me. Not getting too close, but not letting them pull away from me either. In the beginner group 3, with not having as many cars on the track, it gave enough room in between cars to feel comfortable. If there was a spin out, you could avoid the other cars, slow down and pull around them. This drift track is right on the side of a drag strip, so you use the drag strip return on your way back from the drift track. It has plenty of room to be able to cool down your car, and at a lot of these hot lap events, they usually have a water box down there to cool off your tires. So this is just a little clip from groups 1 and 2. They run closer tandems, more powerful cars. Here's a little bit of shot of the pits area too, where you stage up to go into the drift track. Once you get up to the track, they then flag you on when the track is clear. Even though I was feeling pretty comfortable with the car, I didn't attempt to drift close to anybody. I didn't really request, hey, can I do some tandem with you? Because I wasn't quite comfortable enough to be real close to another car. As the day went on as well, in the long sweeper corners, it started to get a lot of rubber laid down, so it was very grippy and harder to maintain drift towards the ends of the corners, because I was losing wheel speed while momentum was gaining. So towards the end of the day, one of the last few runs, I really went for it. Mangied the straight, hard e-brake drag and clutch kick into that first initial initiation, and really powered through the rest of the course, linked the whole track. But it was right to the end of the life of the tires, and I couldn't hold the drift at the end of that corner. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 3.